This is Tom Colley for Through the Ropes Boxing. I'm delighted to be here at the Matchroom Gym, joined by none other than Conor Benn. Conor, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. Conor, thank you for coming on. Saw you fight last time out. Good fight. Got 10 rounds in after a break. How's it feeling getting back in the ring?
Yeah, good, mate. It was just me battling demons getting in there. You know, over anything else, over my opponent, over anything. It was more so me mentally and my demons that I was battling, you know. So yeah, I overcome a lot that night.
Yeah, and it was great for everyone to see you back in the ring. How did it feel getting back in, and also going back to sort of getting into boxing, growing up with your dad, Nigel Benn, is obviously a legendary, one of the best British fighters of all time. At what age did you decide that boxing was something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, do you know what? It wasn't until late, really. I wasn't really cut out for the game. Well, I say that, obviously I am, but I mean, growing up, I wasn't raised around no conflict. I wasn't raised around no boxing gyms, around that sort of hostile environment. You know, it was, for me, it was a very nice, privileged upbringing. So, yeah, boxing weren't ever part of the plan up until I was about 18.
Just came from an inner hunger within you, I suppose. So, a lot of talk, Conor, about your next opponent, Chris Eubank Jr. As you know, is that the next fight for you? Do you think?
Yeah, listen, I hope so, man. Do you know what I mean? For the country, you know, for the nation, I hope that is the fight that happens. And it's only right that the fight takes place on British soil. Yeah. You know, I know there's numerous locations and numerous countries that want to stage their fight. So, you know, for me, it's really got to happen here. Irrelevant of the money, irrelevant of, you know, if there's more money elsewhere. It's a British classic. It's a British fight. You know, with the rivalry our dad's had, it's a fight that's got to happen. But if it don't happen, you know, 147's the goal. You know, there's names that have been put in the hat for me late Jan, early Feb, against the top 147 contender. If not, you know, Barrios interim world champion. You know, I know offers have been sent out, so hopefully either or. You know, I'm either on the world title hunt at 147 against the Barrioses, Thurmans, Ennis, Usyk even, or, you know, come to 160 for this one fight, and my only fight at 160.
So if the fight takes place, it would be at 160 at middleweight then?
Yeah, definitely, because there was massive uproar before. Bearing in mind I'm jumping up 2 weight divisions. Yeah. You know, so catch weight's normal in boxing. When there's a big fight of big magnitude, Ryan Garcia-Gervonta, for example, a recent example where the fight is that big that they do a catch weight. You know, for some reason it wasn't people making excuses for the weight cut. Yeah. If I had won, there would have been excuses already set. You know, and now I don't want there to be no excuses. Yeah. 116, no rehydration clause, do what you want. You know, at the end of the day, a fight's a fight, and I'll go in there and fight any man, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And so the plan, obviously, you go up, if you did fight Eubank at 160, it would be to continue then at 147 and win world titles in that division?
Yeah, of course.
And who's on the hit list?
Barrios would be the perfect fight for me.
Yeah.
That's a fight I love. He's WBC interim world champion. Obviously, you've got Spence and Crawford who have the belts currently taken up. But that would probably be my go-to. If I could choose now, it'd be Barrios. He had a great win over Usyk. He's a good fighter. Been in with some big names, big name in America. So, you know, that's the fight I'd like my team to make next, if not Keith Thurman. Although Keith Thurman's a little bit past it, he's well experienced, and, you know, I doubt he's going to want to be the gatekeeper for someone like me. So Barrios for me is the fight.
And there was talks last year, Conor, of potential fight with Kell Brook. He's talked about coming out of retirement. Is that one that you'd potentially look at?
What, is he still talking about coming out of retirement?
I haven't seen anything recently, but I know the sparring footage came out and then there was all that talk, so I just don't know if that was something is that a fight you'd look at if it came around?
Nah, not Kell Brook now. I think his day's really gone now, you know, so for me it's zero interest.
Fair enough. And if this fight does come around with Eubank, how do you see that fight going? What's your prediction for that?
I believe I'll knock him out in 4 rounds.
Do you have a message for Eubank?
No message, he knows. I think a lot enough's been said, the talking's done, all he's got to do is sign the contract.
And just moving on to some of the other fighters at the moment, some of the big fights being talked about, you've seen what's going on in Saudi Arabia. How would you see a fight between, or how do you see the fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk going if that fight comes about?
I back the Brit every day of the week. You know, twice on Sundays. Say what you want about Fury. You know, he's an entertaining heavyweight who brings life to the party. You know, so bearing in mind he's a beast. He's a freak in size, stature, ability. You know, I don't think there's many heavyweights out there right now that beat Fury, even off of their last performance, which wasn't the greatest. But whatever the reasons are the reasons. Every dog has his day. You know, every fighter has a bad day in the office, and you know that may just be that. If his eyes are on the ball for the Usyk fight, I can't see Usyk getting near him. But then on the other hand, if the same Fury that turns up against Ngannou, yeah, it won't end well.
Another interesting one, Conor. I was at Mark Tibbs' boxing gym the other week. John Ryder's obviously, you know, coming up for his next fight. Billy Joe Saunders is making his comeback, and Mark said he'd quite like to see that rematch. What would you make of that fight if that took place? Of course, Billy's got to get back into top shape. But if that fight took place, is that one you'd think that you'd want to see?
Yeah, of course. I'm not sure what Billy's doing. It'd be great to see him back. I think he was saying that his next fight would be back at 175. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
You know, yeah, it'd be good to be him back, man. You know, he's another person that brings life to and soul to the boxing. Yeah, I'd like to see that fight, definitely. You know, I'm not sure what other names there are domestically that would be as big. You know, so yeah, I'd love to see that fight.
And just so finally, then, Conor, so it's a world title for you next year. That's the aim.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. I mean, listen, I let my team do all they got to do. Do you know what I mean? I focus on the fighting. You know, after the past year, I've stayed dedicated, I've stayed disciplined. You know, even when I was hopeful or not hopeful, when there was ups and downs, I still stayed disciplined and controlled what I can control. You know, and that's me just being the best athlete I can be and the best fighter I can be. So, you know, provided my team, who I trust, who have guided me to where they've got me so far, can get me that shot, then I'll handle business. You know, I'm doing my part. You know, and I always deliver. I have never not delivered. It's a 10-10, you know, for me. In 22 fights, I've always delivered and always done what I've said I was going to do. I've always entertained. It's their job to do theirs.
I think I'll speak for everyone, Conor, when we say we're looking forward to seeing you back in full flight in the ring next year, and thank you for speaking through the ropes.
Pleasure.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.